Tired of serving up the same old tasteless victuals to your family? Step up your grill game with new seasonings from Cloy's Southern Eats. Tired of serving up the same old tasteless victuals to your family? Step up your grill game with new seasonings from Cloy's Southern Eats. Based off famous Southern recipes, our seasonings will add what's been missing to your. Tired of serving up the same old tasteless victuals to your family? Step up your grill game with new seasonings from Cloy's Southern Eats. Tired of serving up the same old tasteless victuals to your family? Step up your grill game with new seasonings from Cloy's Southern Eats. Based off famous Southern recipes, our seasonings will add what's been missing to your family's feast. Add it to steak, chicken, shrimp, you name it. Serving up these fixings is going to make you the hero at home. So head on over to CloysSouthernEats.com and order yours today. Come get you some. Tired of serving up the same old tasteless victuals to your family? Step up your grill game with new seasonings from Cloy's Southern Eats. Based off famous Southern recipes, our seasonings will add what's been missing to your family's feast. Add it to steak, chicken, shrimp, you name it. Serving up these fixings is going to make you the hero at home. So head on over to CoysSouthernEats.com and order yours today. Come get you some.
And everybody, welcome to the Hogville.net Razorback post-game show presented by Coy Southern Eats. You go check out all of their great assortment and collection of close football game tonight, 48-14 to the Missouri Tigers, which whenever we talked, Otis and I talked on Sunday that this was going to be the Razorbacks bowl game. Well, if this was the bowl game, well, they took a big fat crap because you saw 5 fumbles that were lost. They came into the game with only 5 fumbles lost all season. You had KJ Jefferson get hurt, didn't come back. Looked like he'd hyperextended that left knee whenever he got taken down. You had him on the sidelines. He was gingerly walking, trying to get it back right a little bit, but whenever something like that happens to a joint, it's hard to come back from. Sam talked about in postgame that he wanted to reevaluate KJ after halftime to see if he could go. The guy could not put hardly any weight on it on the sidelines. He was not going to be able to go. Jacoby Criswell comes in, tries to do something. He had 20 pass attempts. He had 12 completions, 90 yards, 3 lost fumbles. One of them was for a scoop and score to a defensive tackle. And he did have one passing touchdown to Andrew Armstrong in trash time. And I don't know where to go from here. I don't know. I don't know where Hunter Yurchek goes from here. I don't know where the big money people go from here. I know that Sam is going to be retained from what Hunter said for next year. I'm at a loss of words. I thought that there was a quarterback, and I know that your backup quarterback is your best player because a little unproven, hasn't been able to get a lot of time on the field, and everybody loves the guy. He couldn't engineer a drive to save his life in the first half. You had Augustov trying the best he could as a true freshman, which he'll be redshirted this year. You had Rocket Sanders out. You had KJ Jefferson hurt. You had a wide receiving core that still could not get open. Big wide receivers are not the answer. You need speed wide receivers. And also, mind you, you also need to have wide receivers that can catch. That helps a lot. We'll have to see where they go from there on that. I don't think you're going to see Kenny Guyton come back as offensive coordinator. And I think if you do see him come back as offensive coordinator, I think this entire state's going to revolt. Period, end of story. I'm surprised that this entire state isn't about ready to revolt right now as it is, seeing the way that the last half of this season completely just fell through the floor. Throw in your comments, your questions, your concerns, whatever you got. It's Black Friday. People had to put up with it, the crazies if you tried to go to the store this morning, which if you did, good luck. Then you go to the football game. You see what happened there inside the confines of Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium. Yet the basketball team fall to North Carolina when it looked like a semi-competitive game, except for the second half. It just looked like Carolina was too much. Another year of this. If there's a continuation into next year to see this type of football be played, you have to ask yourself, how many games is he going to last through next season? That's an honest assessment. You have to. Comments, concerns, questions on here. Silver Sergeant is pretty vocal tonight. Pittman needs to resign tonight. The problem isn't money or player talent. The problem is poor coaching and the decision to keep Pittman. Resign tonight, Sam, tonight. That's a lot. That's a lot, and that's fully well warranted because the product that you see on the field tonight did not represent, I feel, the entire state of this entire state of Arkansas. And I think that's one of the things that people are so pissed off about is they feel like they should be able to go down there, watch a competitive football game, and see the money that donors / boosters, money from TV contracts, which I understand they also paid for all the Title IX sports, the money that you pay at the gate, which that continues to go up, the money that people invest in NIL on the university campus. You have to use that money to invest in players that are going to make your team better. Do you pay $16 million to get Sam out of here, or to reinvest into the coaching staff to either bring back where, because let's face it, the defensive staff, if they know that there's not going to be any tangible gains made on the offensive side of the ball, what incentive do they have to come back unless they are going to tell Hunter Yurachek and their agents are going to tell both Sam and Hunter, I need a raise because if I'm going to have to go through this again, there's a possibility I might be fired next year. That's end story. Also take that $16 million and dump that back into NIL. Go get some players. That's what the problem is. Players, coaches, done. I'm a little bit of a rant. I'm get off my lawn tonight. I know that I like to bring stats. I like to talk about what the Hogs might have done right and done wrong, but it's the end of the season. My grade for this entire staff is a D-, and the only reason why it's not an F is because of the defense. You had the defense get carved up in the first half. They could not stop a zone read to save their life. We'll talk a little bit more about the interior defensive linemen tonight on the story that I'll be writing. You guys can read about that I was looking at the play. Sorry, 681. That's what it was. Last year, they were on the field for 860 plays. That's before the Kansas game, which you tack on another 91 plays to that. So defense gets winded. You can't expect them to bail you out every time. This really reminds me of Danny Ford back in the mid-90s, where at some point the defense has just got to give because they can't have nothing else to give because they're completely exhausted, completely tapped out because the offense they know is not going to score. We'll have to see where that goes. And it's just frustrating because you see all the fans that put their time hard-earned money, time, effort, blood, sweat, and tears into rooting for the Hogs. It's not easy. It's not easy for a lot of fan bases. But again, you look at the Razorback fan base and it's feel like you got the refs against you. You got big money donors that might not be giving as much as you feel like they should. I hear that a lot. You got ESPN, hell, that's against you too. You seem like. So I don't know. It's a get off my lawn type of moment. I've just been completely taken back by the fact that you have a team that was cheering last week because they've got Sam Pittman coming back as coach next year. To go back out there and turn up a huge, old, fat, stinky, smelly egg on the field. That's what it was. How can you watch it? It's hard. Will KJ be back next year? I don't know. We'll see. Will Rocket be back next year? I don't know. We'll see. They got a couple of months to figure this thing out. Really, second week in January, whenever classes start, if they do decide to transfer and get into another system, if that's what happens, or if they come back. Mr. Tree W, if Hunter Yurchek won't fire him, then fire Hunter Yurchek. I don't know if that's a possibility. I'm not going to put it out of the realm. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, though. I'm just going to be honest with you. I could go over the stats with y'all real quick, but here's the deal. The score was indicative of what the stats were. 5 lost fumbles tonight. They had 5 coming into the game. They gave up 203 yards of rushing offense. They gave up a total of 205 or 213 yards to Schrader. We're going to start calling him Shredder from now on because that's what he's been doing to defenses. Look what he did against Tennessee. The guy had over 100 yards receiving and 200 yards rushing. So it's not the first time this has happened. So Steven 1383, if I was bad at my job, they wouldn't have to fire me. I'd be doing something different, especially if I was on national television. Yep, that's the truth. That's what happened. You want a product that can come out and put them on national television each week, and then you try it out there and live. Like I said before, a big old fat, stinky, smelly egg. That's what happened. Our program is so bad, Jerry Jones was at the Texas game. There you go. I know that on social media, a lot of Tiger fans were trying to stripe out Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium. I did post a photo of that. That did not happen. I didn't think it would happen, just for the sheer fact that I didn't think that Arkansas fans were going to not attend the game in that capacity, because they did. They showed up for a 3-8 or for a 4-8 squad. They showed up. Matter of fact, I think I might have to even get that right. Trying to think. Yeah. 4-8. It's where we're sitting. It's where it is. Do you have any theories on why Hunter Yurachek is keeping Coach Pittman? Defense. End of story. Defense started to show some cracks at the end of the season. One of the main reasons was because of the ineptitude of the offense. And if you guys are able to hear me okay, great. If not, let me know. I'm having trouble with this mic sometimes. Sounds like I'm in a tin can. I thought I might have fixed it, but if I'm sounding crappy, let me know. I'll get it fixed as soon as possible. But that's the reason why, Steven 1383, it's the defense. I appreciate it. Thanks, man. That's what saved Sam's job. That's what I was talking about the middle first part of this year and how well the defense was doing, is that if the offense still could not keep turning out points like they were having trouble doing in the first 4 or 5 games of the season, which extended all the way to the end of the season, minus Western Carolina and Florida, both scored over 30 points. And BYU, they had 31 against BYU. It's hard. It's hard to keep playing keep pushing. I understand that there are deals, but at the same time, they're not getting what they should be getting. If they're not getting the offense is not reciprocating the defense, they are going to not keep playing the way that they are. Doesn't matter what level you're at. Professional, same thing. So essentially, T. Will and Woodson saved Coach Pittman's job. They were great hires. Yeah, exactly. That's the point that Hunter Yurachek is playing off of right now, is that if Sam can make those types of hires on the defensive side, Sam can make those types of hires on the offensive side. That's what saved his job. Clear cut, period, end of story. Tonka Todd, man, I want thank you for jumping back with us too. If Pittman is the best at this, that this program can attract as a head coach, then we'll always be Vanderbilt of the West. Not wrong there. You're not wrong. We are there right now. It's hard to invest money into a program that doesn't. You feel like it's not going to turn around. That's what's hard. But at the same time, you also have to understand that if Hunter Yurachek gets rid of Sam Pittman, and Steven says exactly what I would think, is that who would come here? First off, don't know. That's for let's face it. Let's face it. That's where Jimmy Sexton comes in, because he's going to sit there and he's going to run roughshod almost over every athletic director in the country, because the guy's good at what he does, unfortunately. And that's get guys hired with really good buyouts. And that's what prevented Yurachek from getting rid of Sam, was that $16 million buyout. I mean, quite frankly, if I was Jimmy Sexton, I'd build a daggum bank right now, because the amount of money that guy is reeling in off of buyouts is second to none. Second to none. Also, the next question is, do you think there is a good OC out there Pittman can get? I don't know. One name that you should look for, I'm not saying it could happen, I'm not saying it would happen, I think it would be good, would be Sean Lewis. I think that Prime really saved Sean Lewis from the program by demoting him, getting rid of him, and not staying in that system. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, they also got the guy at Georgia Tech. He's really good too. Todd Cooper. We will see offensive hires for next year. If not, he won't make it through the year. I agree, 100%. I'm not going to say you're going to see Jack Crow from 1992 after he's canned after one game, But if you don't see any improvement after 3 or 4 games, and you have to start to wonder exactly when Hunter Yurachek is going to pull the trigger if that happens. I've got a brother that knows somebody, and this doesn't mean nothing, but Dave Cutcliffe is a name that may be coming to Arkansas as offensive coordinator, or even maybe head coach. Okay, I know that we've had Coach Cutcliffe on here before. I every once in a while get a chance to talk to him. I haven't heard that. He hasn't divulged any of that, hasn't pointed in that direction. But Coach Cutcliffe is a great friend of the show. He is extremely happy in his position with the SEC as liaison to the coaches, or for the coaches, to Greg Sankey. Does he miss the headache? I promise you not. I have talked to him about that. He does not miss it. He misses the players. He misses the relationships. He does not miss the headache that goes around the rest of that, though. That's just something that I've observed, and we've chatted about a little bit. Tonka Todd, no one worth anything because half the team will transfer out. There's a possibility. You already saw Jalen Lewis. He's out the door. I'm sure you'll see some others here in the next few days. On the depth chart on a losing team that feel like they have a better chance to play somewhere else is going to leave. I like the idea of going after Lewis. That's a unique situation. He could be hungry to succeed. Yep, most definitely. But you also are going to have to fend off some other schools that are going to want to make him their top guy. I mean, he left Kent State. Kent State that came in here and dang near beat Arkansas to take that OC job. So I don't know. Well, he also had quite a few players that were pretty good transfer out as well after Sean Lewis left at Kent State, which still came in and almost beat Arkansas at home. So Leslie Bynum, I like your Christmas tree. Thank you. I appreciate that. Just haven't quite got all the ornaments on it yet. So here, probably in the next few days, we'll get that put up. Todd Cooper, Pitt better get OC and O-line. Coach Wright, Kennedy needs to go after our offensive line. Yep. I agree. But one of the questions that I want to pose to all of you listeners out there, folks that are watching this, what are you going to do if Sam keeps Cody Kennedy? Is there going to be a revolt? Is there going to be a mass exodus where they have to completely restock the offensive line depth? Would it be ironic that Sam Pittman gets fired because of the offensive line's problems that he cannot fix, being the person with that type of reputation? That's what he's looking at right now. Tonka Todd, I have zero faith in the trustees and Hunter Yurachek to ever make the right decision needed to make Arkansas football anything other than a basement-dwelling program. Well, you're not wrong, because you have, ever since Bobby Petrino fell in your lap, jumped on a jet, ghosted the Atlanta Falcons on Monday Night Football, and came in that night. I was at the press conference. I was standing beside Rick Schaefer and Chris Mortensen for that crap, which completely blew my mind and everybody else's. You had success there, and then after that, you look at John L. Smith, you look at Brett Bielema, Chad Morris, and now Sam Pittman, and it's rough. That's where I think that your statement plays. It really does. Throw up in my smoker, most likely. If Kennedy stays, any hope that an OC hire might give will be quickly dashed. I mean, I think that that's something that Sam also has to juggle as well. You have an offensive coordinator that comes in and sees what your offensive line just did with the offensive line coach. And how do you not sit there and ask him and say, what is your long-term plan with this? And long-term, I'm meaning next year. This isn't that's what Sam's looking at. He is looking at, and I've said this before on a Twitter space, and August, that Sam is in Ed Orgeron territory where his next hires are either going to sink him or succeed him. That's it. And went 50-50. Defense did great. Offense did horrible. And you're expecting Sam to keep his job next year, having to hire possibly an offense. Well, not possibly. It's going to happen. Love Kenny Guyton, smooth guy, nice QB. He'd be a great passing game coordinator. Otis and I were talking about that, which, by the way, tune in tomorrow at on Sunday. Can't keep forgetting this is Friday. Sunday at 3 o'clock for our football report with Otis Kirk. He's going to make an offensive coordinator hire, possibly looking at a wide receivers coach now because, I mean, I don't know if Kenny Guyton's going to want to go back into that same position. Possibly an offensive line coach hire. Possibly a new quarterback, possibly a new running back. And then you're going to say, oh, and by the way, we need you to win 8 games next year or you're gone. I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but 8 games point you in the right direction. That's what you're looking at with Sam Pittman staying after next year. Steven again, Leslie Bynum and Brett was actually a very likable guy. To some folks, he was very polarizing. Brett Bielema was very polarizing. Some folks liked him. Some folks just didn't like it. Some folks thought he was lovable. Some thought he was arrogant. Like I said, he was very polarizing. Lauren Clark Pittman and Coach Kennedy affair is more detrimental than Bobby Pease and that assistant at this point. I love that one. That one's that's a good one, Lauren Clark. I like that. Let's see. Honestly, kind of sad. Coach P didn't fire Kennedy at the press conference. That's not going to happen. He's going to do his end of year reviews with all of the players, all of the coaches, where he sits them all down one by one on exit interviews. That's where that's at. Well, if we're going to make any coaching changes at this point, tonight's not the time. It's to go in there and say, okay, this is what we saw. This is what we need. What is your plan? That sort of thing. James Swope, everybody by Sam. I'm blonde and a hog. Oh, God. We're devolving. Hogville. Come on. I know you can do better than this. But you guys are also helping carry the show, too. So y'all are doing and you see the success that he's having at UNLV. That's another offensive coordinator that Sam might be looking at too. The job he's done, it's been incredible. So I feel like this has been kind of I wouldn't say a bloodletting, but this has been a get your emotions out because type of show. There's just nowhere else to go because no bowl game. You got a quarterback that got his knee busted pretty good at second series of the game. And just looks, maybe a fourth actually, but ugly. It's just ugly. Swope again. I'm just being spiteful. Don't mind me. I'll be over it by Monday. as most of us will be. Get on Hogville, go on the boards. I'm telling you what, sometimes it's just fun to read everybody's mind tangents that just get on there. It's fun. It really is. Oh, and Leslie Biden, be sure to hit the like button. This is awesome content. I appreciate that. Thank you. It just, I feel like I want to be a soundboard for the fans because I understand where you all come from more so than you might think. Because up until a couple of years ago, I was in your spot before I decided to make a change in my career. I felt like I could be more effective as a podcaster and writer. I've been given, a chance by Lanny and Otis. I'm taking with it and I'm running with it. And we're going to keep expanding this platform as well. With myself, Dudley, Otis, Kevin, we're going to keep expanding it. We're going to keep making it better. I can honestly say I'm ready for baseball season after the football game and the basketball game, but Thanksgiving was a good day. It was. Oh, by the way, Courtney Deifel, another year around the sun for her. Her birthday is today. So if y'all get on there, make sure to show Coach Deifel some love. Speaking of that, you got softball that's going to be right around the corner. That team has a legit shot of Oklahoma City. I thought last year they might. No. This year. Perhaps for betting on yourself, brother. Yeah. Oh, props. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Fayetteville Conway is going to be the game of the night in the state playoffs. There is a really good chance that that's going to happen. I'm really curious to see what Buck James is able to do coming up here, taking on Coach Dick and Drake Lindsay. Hard to see a talent like Drake Lindsay going to Minnesota. Now, I understand that because his grandfather played for the Vikings. I get that. There's a little bit of connection there, but still, it's hard. So PJ Fleck just comes right in your backyard, says, "Hey, by the way, you don't have a quarterback, but I'm going to take the one that's really good in your state." Man, it's tough. We are a girls' sports school from now on until baseball season. I don't know. Basketball, you can't put too much emphasis on a preseason game like a lot of people have. Like the university sold. They sold that. They sold the hell out of that. They did. But you have to think about it. Look at what Eric Musselman's teams have done in the past. This may be just a little bit of a little bit of a downtrod, then right back up again. So we'll have to see where that goes. I think that he's going to right the ship. He's not dealing with freshmen. He's dealing with grad seniors. But jump over to Kevin because he'll have more on that. Trust me, the guy is phenomenal. He does a lot more in depth than I'll ever do. So tune over to that guy. Come on, man. If you don't know we're going to the tourney by now, I don't know. Yeah, I think that could happen. Sorry about knocking my other computer off here. I was recording the press conference. Turn it back onto football for just a quick moment here before we get out of here. I do want to thank everybody for jumping on with me tonight. Make sure to like Leslie said earlier, hit the like and share button. Subscribe to this page. We'll be on here during the off season as well. You got Dudley coming on at 4:30 every Sunday. You got Otis coming on at 3:00 every Sunday. And so we'll keep pumping those out. I know that Otis will still have off-season football, which that never stops. You're going to have a lot of portal information that's going to be coming out in the next couple of weeks. You've got recruiting. That's going to be another thing that you want to look at because that's the only way is those two things, portal and recruiting. That's how you get yourself out of this mess. Because offensive linemen that we got on the hill right now, they're not getting it done. So we'll have to see where he goes. Where do they go? I don't know, but there might not be enough room for all of them. I sure as hell hope not. I do want to take a quick break here, and then after that break, we will go over to the giveaway that we have been touting this week. The final score prediction for the Koi's Southern Eats box giveaway. After that, what I need you to do is to look me up on Facebook. I will go and send me a direct message with your contact information, and I will get that box sent to you. It is worth $100. It's got 6 different spices for grilling. It's got a cracker warming tin. It's got a salad dressing mix, and it's also got a shaker bag mix to put all of your, chicken, wild game, beef, whatever you want. They got it for you. So we're going to take a quick break here in just a second, and then we will get back to that, and I will have the winner.
Tired of serving up the same old tasteless victuals to your family? Step up your grill game with new seasonings from Koi's Southern Eats. Based off famous Southern recipes, our seasonings will add what's been missing to your family's feast. Add it to steak, chicken, shrimp, you name it. Serving up these fixings is going to make you the hero at home. So head on over to koissoutherneats.com and order yours today. Come get you some.
And welcome back, everybody. I got to take a quick look on here really quick. There are a couple that were very close. 48-14 was the final. And the two that I see that are possibly the closest, and I will have to get back to you guys on this because it looks like Doug took my post down. I'm going to have him repin that for me. But I do believe it could be either Mike Barber or P. Gee. So I got to figure out which one you got. The two were the closest on this one because P guessed 35-13. I don't know, but Mike guessed 52-23. So, like I said, I gotta chop that up a little bit. Good look at the numbers, but I will put an announcement on Hogville's Facebook page and Twitter to announce the winner. And then whenever that winner is announced, I will need you to send me your Facebook or your information so that I can get that box to you. So that way you can use it yourself. You can use that as Christmas gifts for if you want to. That's whatever you do is your business. But I want to thank Koi's Southern Eats. I want to thank Tracy and Clay for that giveaway. They've done an incredible job with us. They've stuck with us through the thick and a lot of the thin this year because talked to Tracy and Clay, and they understand that whenever you have a 4-8 season, it's tough. It's tough all around. I mean, the economy is not the best, and they've stood by our side. They've been great sponsors. I want to thank them. I couldn't thank them enough, and they've been great all this whole entire year. And so we'll have to find out and see who wins that box. And like I said, I'll get with one of our admins and get that all squared up. So I want to thank you guys for joining us all season. Drake wasn't able to be here tonight. He is with high school football tonight doing some stuff. And I tried to carry the mail sack for y'all. Try to carry the mail sack for y'all this entire season. We'll be back next year after each game, just like we are now, like we have been all season. And I want to thank each and every one of you genuinely, because if it wasn't for you, this thing doesn't run. We got 29 people watching live right now. That doesn't sound like a lot, but the first game, we had 6. So that tells you a lot. Where we're growing and we're getting bigger. We'll just have to see where it's going. And so make sure to subscribe and watch. You can go back and watch all the press conferences from Mike Neighbors, Eric Musselman, Sam Pittman, Dave Van Horn, Courtney Deifel, all that content that we're able to bring you right after it happens. James Swope, got to get back to work. Great stuff, man. Keep up the great work. I appreciate that. And I want to thank you all for jumping on with me. This is the final post-game show for the 2023 Razorback football season. And go Hogs.
Tired of serving up the same old tasteless victuals to your family? Step up your grill game with new seasonings from Cloy's Southern Eats. Based off famous Southern recipes, our seasonings will add what's been missing to your family's feast. Add it to steak, chicken, shrimp, you name it. Serving up these fixings is going to make you the hero at home. So head on over to CloysSouthernEats.com and order yours today. Come get you some.